Well, welcome everybody to Elevation Call with what we now know as the Wellness Mastery Quest. We've spent a lot of time in the fourth quarter just coming up and renaming this amazing journey that we're on. And one of the reasons we chose this name was because of what a quest is. And, it's a long range commitment and it's a clear aim that requires consistency, it requires courage and growth. And it's really a journey that unfolds through very small, faithful steps. Last week, we described that as inches. It's a business that grows in inches. And for many, it's a calling that shapes identity and not just outcomes. And it's a modern hero's journey, if you will, and one that's rooted in whole health, compassionate prosperity, and leadership that endures. And I love that. So we really talk a lot about our purpose. Our purpose in the Wellness Mastery Quest is number one, we want to master wellness, this domain that we're in. And, personally, we want to master wellness and collectively we want to master wellness. It's one of the things we do on this call. We want to develop leaders that are grounded, regulated, and values aligned, and we want to create other $1 million earners. That is an option. And we do that through mentorship, modeling, and systems, not pressure or hype. And then we want to build prosperity without sacrificing health, integrity, or joy. And so, as members of this Wellness Mastery Quest, we commit to showing up consistently, even when the work is slow or uncomfortable. We value process over perfection. We lead ourselves before leading others. We choose integrity, science-backed wellness, and long-term thinking. We measure success not only by income, but also who rises because of us. And so we have regular gatherings on this channel on the first and the third Sundays at 7:30. And these gatherings are really a steady rhythm. They're not an obligation. This is just a space for learning, reflection, and application. And it's a place where mastery is modeled, not performed. So consistency creates safety, presence builds trust, and practice creates mastery. So this is really the long view, and we're building something that's meant to last in this business. The true measure of the Wellness Mastery Quest will not be what we accumulate, but the leaders we develop, the health we preserve, the communities we strengthen, the legacy we leave behind. And so this quest is an invitation to walk the long path, to answer the call to lead, and to become who we are capable of being together. And that's the thing I look so forward to on this call, is just kind of revisiting our purpose and welcoming some of our new members, and also congratulating some of our new members who have done some really amazing things over the last couple weeks. And so I want to go ahead and start and shout out. Our first shout out is to Shayla, who, and you guys might not know this, but Shayla was the very first ambassador in the whole global ambassador pool of Zalise who reached 10,000 in TV or trip volume, to get bumped up to the second level so she can actually take someone with her on the next trip. And we're also shouting out to Shayla because she's a new Opal, and she has launched and was actually interviewed on Luis's call this weekend. So I asked Shayla if she would just kind of come and teach us a little bit about how she's done this so quickly. It's been so much fun to meet Shayla. Like, I can't believe I didn't know you like a few months ago. Like, really, we've only known each other for just like a month. But Shayla, if you don't mind unmuting, come on and tell us, how have you built so quickly, and kind of tell us a little bit about your background and why you have just dived into Zalise.
Yes, I can definitely do that. I will start with my background. I worked for a company for 20 plus years, and in October of last year, I got let go due to restructuring. I literally had given my blood, sweat, and tears to the company for all those years and worked extremely hard. And so it was like a knife in my chest, just twisting when it happened. But I knew that God had a better plan for me. And so I rested my life on that and my future on that and trusted in it. And I met Lisa during an EMBA event, a networking event, and one of my career coaches had said, touch base with Lisa. She knew that I had been struggling. I had applied for over 200 jobs and had not been successful in getting hired by a company at much lower positions than what I was at my previous company. And when I met Lisa, I went home and I for a month, I just kind of prayed about it and I thought and I waited and I researched Lisa and I saw how good she was doing for others in her heart. And I saw she was in whole health and Zalise and just amazing things. So I said, hey, can you meet with me? And so we had a meeting over Zoom and she told me all about Zalise and herself, and I thought there are few and far between people with just such good hearts that are out there in the field helping people with her experience. And I said, can I muscle test these products? And she's like, yeah, sure, I'll meet you. And Linda just happened to be having a meeting that Saturday, I think it was. And so I went to the meeting and she brought products and I muscle tested them as a doctor of naturopathy. That's how I determined if things are good for you, if they're strong, if they're good products. And they all tested strong. And I was really happy with the products. I was just so obsessed with the company from the time that I heard about Angie and the story behind it, and just knew that they were out there for health and not just making money, that they actually empowered people and cared about them and wanted to see them move to the top and just be successful and be healthy themselves. And you just don't see that with a lot of companies and especially corporations out there. And so I saw just a lot of opportunity in Zalise and a great person in Lisa, and knew that it was something that would benefit not only myself and my family, but my friends and people around me. And I have to tell you guys, Lisa and I were on a call with one of my friends that signed up for it, and she was telling us today about her son's results. And I could see in her face and her body, the way she held herself and talked, it had taken just a huge load off of her shoulders. And I thought, that's why I was in health before. That's why I was a doctor of naturopathy, because I love to see those results with people. And it was just so beautiful. No amount of money is worth the beauty that we saw today. It was just incredible. And so I started with the gold kit. I believed in the gold. I wanted to make sure that I could get to that 12% eventually. And you get what you pay for. So there's a discount on that. And I thought it'll give me enough product to actually give friends product, family the product, and have some product for myself as well. So I liked the fact that the gold was multifaceted in its uses. And I thought, let's just dive in first and get going, and we'll head in as strong as we can. I mean, why tiptoe or put your foot in the water when you can just do it all? And so I did, and I'm just excited for every day that comes along, for every person that we can touch. And Lisa and Luis and everybody, Linda and Gina and Brooke. I mean, people have been coming to help me, and it's just been not about me taking over the business, but it's been everybody as a team helping to make people and influence people and make them better in their lives and give them that opportunity for health and wealth too. So I think we're going to go and just get as many people as we can and send out the information and influence as many people as we can so that they can also be on that path to health. And I really love it that these products work so quickly for so many people. I was saying before that it's few and far between on the products where when you're muscle testing them, they can strengthen multiple acupressure points, whether it's your lungs or your heart or your brain or your digestive, your colon, your bladder, all those different points. And with the endocannabinoid system and the points and what Ultravibe does, it hits so many points. And you just don't see that in the health industry very often, where it can hit those points and balance them, whether it's high or low, to give that intermediary position where your body can heal itself. So I just found a lot in the products of what they can actually do for people and help them to their path and their journey to health and wellness and potentially wealth too. So I'm excited. I don't think my excitement will ever wear down, because Lise produces new products every once in a while, and these products are great too and serve a lot of purposes, very multifaceted. So I think it'll be great. I love Lisa, the team. You guys are fantastic, all of you. So it's just
Thank
a
you for
great
that,
experience.
Shayla. They are an amazing team, and this is our really kind of our inner circle, if you will. And these are people who've really stood the test of time. But I do want to just kind of point something out as well, Shayla, because when you came in at gold, it was like I was so grateful that Linda just last month, you had that hosting the Super Saturday training, which was a perfect opportunity for her to kind of get a picture of what Zalise was. And Linda is a wonderful host. We're going to have another one February 14th, which gives all of us an opportunity to introduce people to Zalise. But then you went back and tell us how many launch meetings that you've done and what that's looked like.
I have had two in-house launch meetings, and every person has either purchased something or signed up for an auto ship, a VIP customer, and an ambassador pack. So it's been really nice. I had one Zoom call with two people. I think it's a little bit more difficult for me, at least, to get people to sign up over a Zoom call, but it's been fantastic. I've had dinner for everyone, and it's been great getting to know people and just being able to have dinner together and converse and hear about their issues that they're having because they do open up, especially to Lisa. Lisa's really good at having them open up and tell them their problems and what they need to work on and how this could benefit them. And I just kind of flow beside her and I'm like, okay, this is great. I'll do the introduction and I'll say my words and what I feel like. And I have had experience really quickly, so I share some of my experience in transitioning from the terzepatide because when I started taking that, I was about 210 pounds and I lost 35 pounds. So it helped me. And it also helped me to not feel dizzy and nauseous. And because I was having all these symptoms that I had had and made me eat more because I felt like I needed those calories to where my blood sugar didn't drop. And there was nothing else that the doctor was doing. Well, when I started taking those shots, it was like a miracle for me because I felt so good. But when BFIT came along and I got off of the shots, it gave me that same result that I was getting from the terzepatide. So it worked out really well. And I didn't have any transition period where I didn't feel good or anything with it. And then with the Ultra Vibe, my back had been hurting. I told my daughter, I said, uh, I shoveled and I had vacuumed and I said, I have to sit down when I'm vacuuming. And I was literally going and sitting down as I was telling her the story. And I expected my daughter to be like, okay, mom, I'll get up and vacuum for you. But that didn't happen. So I was just pushing through doing it. And when I started taking the vibe, I could do it without having any back problems and I could shovel without having any back problems. And I'm like, this is a miracle because it wasn't a period of a month or a year. I always told people when I was practicing my naturopathy, for every year that you've had an issue, it takes a month to heal for your body to heal that. Well, this was immediate relief pretty much. So in seeing that, it's just really exciting. So I shared, some of those stories with people. And then Lisa takes over and she's fantastic. And eventually I'll take over too. But she just has so many more stories than I do and explains it so well to someone that doesn't understand the medical field that it just works and people grasp it. And they're still leaving and they want more information, but they have enough information to where they're confident that it'll help them as well.
Well, Shayla, it's been really fun to see this because some of you guys that have joined within the last couple of months might not realize that this is all new to us. This is new leadership. This is really a new compensation plan. It's an enhanced compensation plan. And what we've seen Shayla do is literally do the model that Bo talks about. Month one, we find three goals. Well, you come in at gold, then find three goals. And then every month thereafter, we just enroll one. And so to see, the intensity that you've launched with this, Shayla, and then also to know that tomorrow you're doing another one. Like, so
Yes,
you're starting this month with a goal of being able to push the rank beyond Opal, which is really smart.
thank you. I'm excited about it. I just want to influence and affect as many people as possible as quickly as possible. So we're really on a rocket ship to try to help people.
Well, and also this is kind of where I want to shout out to Linda Painter and brought Randall and her son Brett, to the last launch meeting. And Linda, that's a huge help to the team. Just your story is really powerful. And so that was super helpful. The other person I want to recognize is Brooke. So Brooke, super busy. I mean, I understand that she's all over the place teaching reformer Pilates. She has a huge book of business with that. And she's sometimes torn between Bella Vista and Fayetteville, but she came and supported that meeting, and she had a notebook in her hand taking notes. So
Wow.
I was really impressed with Brooke. And also, Brooke, I wanted to shout out because you were able to get your first customer growth opportunity this month with free customers. Brooke, are you there? Are you hiding behind your screensaver? She's not. She's
Mute.
not.
Hi, thank
There's
you,
Brooke.
thank you. I am. I'm a slow roller over here, but I'm
No,
so
no, no.
passionate about this. I'm so passionate about this. And Shayla, you're so inspiring right now, and I'm driven by mentorship and watching, and I could cry. I'm so proud of you. You're
Aw.
beautiful. Just listening to you speak on it, just drives me even harder, and thank you.
Well,
Oh,
and
thank
and
you.
the stories that you guys are unfolding, like Shayla, you mentioned Marianne and her son, and we'll come back to that. But Brooke, you introduced me to a woman who talked about her, I think, 9-year-old son.
Right. And not just something where you could see when Shayla talked about the load that lifted off the person, watching Steph talk about it, am I going to be able to get this? I don't want to run out of this. Right. And watching someone go where it's helping that much, where they're worried about running out.
And
Um,
can you describe,
it's
Brooke, a little bit about what happened in that story with the 9-year-old?
Well, in that story, it's someone that I know works with this lady and had heard her talking over and over about the behavior of the son, impulse control. Is he on the spectrum? It's really hard to diagnose. Outburst, crazy outburst. And, they were on their knees about it. And is it autism? What is it? And when Lisa and I got her on the phone to speak with her the first time, they were so skeptical that she had her husband with her, and this is a professional woman in the professional world working, but still had to have her husband in on this because she was so scared of it being a psychedelic effect on the kid. Nonetheless, she started to see change, started with a very low dose of vibe, started to titrate up to where he's on 5 drops a day, 5 drops in the morning and at night. And he got Star Student Award like 2 weeks ago.
That
And
is
she's
that is
not
so
sure
profound.
what to even say about it. Yeah.
Well, that's, to me, honestly, when you're able to find somebody who has that need, and as Shayla has found at least one, and I know there's going to be a lot because she's been able to introduce several golds. And when somebody comes in with gold, they just have a bigger impact. They've just got more products. And listening to Marianne, who you guys will meet, talk about her 34-year-old son, it just almost made me cry because it was so much like Nate's story,
Yeah.
unlocking the prison for that entire family, and such a profound change just from vibe. And that's when you know you've got something really profound. And so those stories really mean a lot to me, and I know they mean a lot to our team. The other person I want to shout out to is Gina. Gina, Gina, I know that you were on here a couple weeks ago, but I just wanted to say thank you because you helped support Shayla's very first meeting with the full, wonderful reputation that you have as a whole health facilitator, as a coach, as a mentor, all the things you do in wellness. And are you in Mexico right now, or are you back?
I'm back. I'm back. I'm here. I was gone last week during the snow. I'm here and I'm leaving Friday and I'm going to be gone for a good bit. But So I won't be around much in February, but I'll be back. But yeah, Shayla, just congratulations. So
Thank
proud of
you.
you. So excited for you.
Thank
So,
you. I can't say how blessed I am because there's not words about how God has blessed me with you guys and just everyone around me with the company because it's just hard to find people too. I mean, I have really good friends and close friends, but lots of people are busy. But you guys have made the time to help me, which I just truly appreciate. I couldn't have done it without everybody involved, and God's just watching over us, and I just love it.
Well, the cool thing is, we're able to start creating this in Northwest Arkansas, but it's the broader team of Judy and Susan and Jean and, Linda, even though Linda's here in Northwest Arkansas, I'm going to kind of go over to Susan Everett's team because they've done some pretty heroic things. Susan is not launching her business anymore. She's been in this business just about as long as I have. So, Susan, you were able to do something pretty cool this month as well that I wanted to recognize.
Oh yeah, what was it?
How many customers did you have?
Well, I did. I did squeak out 15 customers this month again, but boy, it was a struggle. But it was really cool. I called one of my friends that takes product but I knew that I wasn't sure whether she had ordered this month. But the cool thing about it was I knew she'd had a really bad week. And so I called her and talked to her, and sure enough, she was sitting in her car crying and hadn't gotten into the house yet because her dad passed away a year ago, and she and her dad were really close. And so she was really struggling with that. So I just loved on her for we talked for a long time. I just loved on her. And at the end of it, she goes, "Oh, by the way, Susan, I need to order some product." And I go, "Well, if you're going to order it, would you mind doing it today?" And she just started laughing because she's a realtor. She gets it. She knows what month end is. And she just started dying laughing. And she says, "I will, Susan. As soon as I walk in the door, I'll order the product." And she was number 15 for me. So that was awesome.
That is awesome. And you never gave up. You were looking at your numbers and you were like, you had your whip out and you were whipping Judy to make sure that she was doing what she was supposed to do. And Judy, tell us a little bit about what your number of customer growth bonus you finished, something that you didn't think you were going to do. Judy, you're muted, dear.
We are. Are you
There you
there?
go. Yep, we're here.
Okay. I finished December with 9 and I was so proud of myself and so up and so happy. And I'm telling you, January came and they started dropping like flies. And I lost just every time the phone would ring, I didn't want to answer it. And just no, go away. So I thought I was down to 3. And Luis, bless his heart, man, you guys have just got to love on Luis. He is just fantastic support to all of us. And he talked to me and he said, "Oh no, 2 of those people didn't stop their auto ship until after they'd already gotten it this month." So all of a sudden I had more. And then one of the ladies that had, she said, "Well, I need to take a month off." And Luis said, "Well, if she does, she's not been on it long enough. She's going to lose all her points." So I talked to her and we wound up getting her another order 1 more month so she can take off next month if she wants to. And so I wound up with 6. Oh my gosh. So
That's awesome.
pleased.
Judy, we're very proud
Yep.
of you. And here's another amazing thing. And I don't know, can you give me the number? So Dr. Debbie Yost, you have brought in, and she's another one of these wonderful fast movers who has just done a lot, and she would believe she's really not done much, but we know that that's not the truth. How many customers did Debbie have this month?
Well, that's the thing. Luis warned me, said she's only got 24. You need to let her know she needs 1 more. So I called her and she said, "I've got one I'm waiting on. I'm waiting on her." She said, "If I don't hear from her within an hour, I'm going to call her." So, but yeah, she doesn't think she's doing anything. She just she talks down about herself. And
She does.
no, she's just yeah.
So
but
so
she's
so
doing
Debbie
great. And
has 25. And so what's the max?
Yep.
What's the max bonus? Who knows?
25.
25. And what's the cash value of that?
Okay, now she's doubled because she signed up so many that she gets the double bonus. So what is that, 2,000?
2000. And how much do you have to
Yeah,
enroll in new volume to get the double?
495.
495.
Look at Gene
Mhm.
Workmeister knowing the number. Impressive. 495 in dollars of new volume. And that's just a thing
Mhm.
that all of us really want to aspire for. We just, it's one silver basically, and, several, VIP customers. And so that's just, was really amazing to me that she was able to do that. And there's another person that's, I don't think she's on the call tonight, but I think some of you guys might have seen the video that I posted of Taylor. And she's a little, I say little, she's young, she's in her 20s. And I was introduced to her as part of a cookie party that we went to at the holidays. And she's just really impressed me. She knew about the endocannabinoid system. She's super smart. And she would tell you herself that she has had a mild case of cerebral palsy. She was a pound and a half when she was born. And so just she had a limp, just a not real visible limp, but the person that she's living with brought her to one of our whole health trainings, and they stayed around afterwards. And she was really curious about some of our products. And all I had with me was Ultracell, just original Ultracell. And I dosed her with Ultracell. And I'm just going to tell you that it has changed her life. One dose. And it
Wow.
was just shocking for me to see, because she then followed up with me and said, this is what's happened. I just felt like this sense of warmth that went throughout my entire body. And she goes, for about an hour and a half, I felt like I was not restricted by all these really tight muscles, and that she normally has those kind of the restrictions, mobility restrictions. And she said, I just kind of cried happy tears because it was the first time that I had been pain free. And I think she's
Wow.
28 years old. So it was really like, again, it was just a reminder of what can happen in this business. And then what was so interesting is I went over to bring her some products yesterday, and the woman she's staying with is in my old neighborhood. And I've literally been talking to this woman for 3+ years about our products, like literally, like her complaints. I knew that we could help solve them. And so now that Taylor, who y'all meet, is in her household and is now a bronze ambassador, she was all about signing up as her first customer. After I've been after her for 3 years to enroll her. And it was just like, how does this stuff happen? And I got a text from Taylor today about how effective that Ultracell, just a little bottle that I gave them before hers comes in, how effective that Ultracell was for Renee, the person that she signed up as her customer, for her bone spurs, even though she doesn't remember I've been telling her that for 3 years. So you cannot make this stuff up, guys. It is the craziest thing. And that's what's so beautiful about the whole team, is that we have each other to share the stories with. And it's one of the reasons I love to go back to Indiana. I love to go to St. Louis. I love to go where you guys are, to go to Pensacola, Florida, especially when it's cold here, because then we can kind of enjoy these stories of people who have just a range of experiences from a range of the products. And so that is a beautiful thing about having a team. So I just want you guys to know how much that I appreciate that about you all. Anybody else have a product result that they would like to share about with themselves, or anybody that they have introduced Zalise to recently? Because if not, I want to just really briefly just talk about the duplication model, because what I love about Zalise, and Shayla is learning this really well. We actually did a training call today for some of her new team members, and Shayla and I both have master's degrees in business, and there's a bias in the MBA programs toward encouraging people to have a real job. Like, go find a corporation to hire you, right, Susan? Susan Everett knows all about this stuff. And yeah, there's some emphasis on entrepreneurship, but it's not like this kind of company. This kind of company is not exactly what an MBA program would really direct most of their graduates to because it's too easy, right? Like that's really where what I love about what our model is Zalise has already invested millions and millions of dollars in this wellness product line. They have a platform, they have a back office. So what I love about Zalise, one of the things is that we have this platform that can deliver certain things that we are looking for. And what we're looking for might vary by the person. Some people really just want a health experience, and that's great. But right now, to find people who say, you know what, I think I could do a lot more good in the world with income versus just health alone. And that's, Shayla, has been the beauty of seeing you and meeting you and seeing you start really taking action with the platform and using all the components as they really were initially intended. And so in this platform, it's for people who say, you know what, I am entrepreneurial. Like, I want to build something. I want to build something sustainable, but I want to use their idea. And yet it gives the products, and there's a lot of flexibility in this model, but the people who are making the most success are able to duplicate themselves. And that's kind of where this differs from another franchise, is that we want to create massive duplication in the marketplace. And unless you have a simple message, most of the times we're not going to duplicate. And so right now, our model for duplication is three things. And Louise talks about this a lot, but it's show the presentation or show something, share a product, and then do a three-way phone call. Do some form of validation to show you're not alone in this. And that's where we enroll them or we follow up until we enroll someone. And so it's three really, really simple steps that we repeat over and over and over and over again. And what I'm really enjoying just being involved in that process from the beginning, because we started with the presentation with Shayla. Now we've done it. Tomorrow we're going to go back and do it. It'll be 4 times that we've really done a presentation to launch her. Every single time we're sharing products, we're talking about stories. And then we've done some three-way phone calls. We've done some follow-ups. We've done a follow-up Zoom. But a lot of times people are enrolling right on the spot. And that's one thing that I've noticed live versus Zoom or versus phone, is that, Shayla, you've gotten people into action a lot faster face to face.
Yeah, it works a lot better for me on face to face, and I like to be able to give them the sample of the ultraviolet berry and then a sample of beefit and the amalaki I always make and put in pretty little teacups so that they can taste the amalaki, because it's just something that everyone has really enjoyed. And I think it calms everyone when they're having samples and just kind of sitting back and enjoying themselves and talking and not feeling pressured or anything. And I've told everyone, don't feel pressured to sign up for this. I just want you to listen to the information. Just listen, tell me your thoughts, see what you think about it. And that's all I'm asking. And so it's been really nice to get people in here and have them relax and actually have a good time, not just feel like they're coming for a multi-level market company where they're going to get pushed into trying to pay for something.
Right. Well, and the other thing is you fed people really delicious food. I mean, like, you have a huge spread, kind of like Linda, like Randall, like a Randall-like spread, which is amazing, which we travel long distances for. And then we've used the little sheets for them to fill out, like, what are their issues. So we definitely have used that. And then at the end, we'll use an application. We'll hand them all the guests get an application so that they can actually review the information again. And that's part of the duplication of the meeting. So what I wish for everyone is for us to be able to, wherever you are, if you've been in the business a while, that we can find somebody to launch. If you are new to the business, that you get the experience of launching. And right now, what we would really love to do is help everyone do 2 launch meetings live. And so if you are new to this business, then that is really what I want to help with. And what I'm loving with Shayla is now she is starting to bring her ambassadors in, and we're starting to book launch meetings for them. And it's been a minute since we've been able to really keep that kind of consistency. So that is something I'm really happy for. And um, Shayla asked me a really interesting question today, and we'll kind of conclude with this. But Shayla, do you remember what you asked me that Belinda's concern was?
Yes. So Belinda has been in MLMs in the past that have sold out. And so all the people that worked for 10, 15, 20 years basically get kicked to the curb on those MLMs. And so her concern is what's going to happen to the Zalise in the future? What if Angie would decide to sell? What if something would happen to Angie and she's not here any longer? What happens when we invest the next 10 years of our lives into the lease, and then could it be all of a sudden gone, or will there be something for us there?
Which is a really good question. I don't know if you guys have ever thought about that or not,
I
but
have.
have you thought about it, Mary? But
Well,
there's a
there's
period of
two product lines that I used to absolutely love that disappeared that way.
it's
And I
pretty
know there's
common.
others, but it's a legitimate. I'm really glad somebody brought that up. So I'm going to be hush and listen.
Yeah, it's a really great question. And I thought I knew the answer because I had to go back to work, guys. I mean, I was not going to put my financial future in what was going to potentially happen with Zalise 2.5 years ago because we really did not know. I didn't know Angie very well. I didn't know what she was going to do with the company if she got it. We didn't know if she was going to get it. And so it took 18 months where nobody really knew what was going to be the future. And that was a really hard time. But what we know now, I got that phone call when I was at work and Angie said it's ours now. And so I texted Angie today and I said, we got a question for you. And I said, I told her, Shayla, I told her Belinda's question. And I said, I totally get it because Belinda's been in a company that they sold out. They basically sold out all of their ambassadors. They went and for money and for affiliate or retail or whatever it is. And do you know what Angie said?
What?
Can I can I curse?
Yeah.
She said, "Oh, hell no."
Well,
She said,
that's
if I,
actually just a declaration against hell. That's not cussing.
okay. She said, if I wanted to write a death sentence for me and my girls, that's what I would do. She goes, but I have fought tooth and nail to have this company to provide freedom for the people who are in it and for the future people. And so I go, well, Angie, I thought I knew where you stood on that, but I wanted Shayla to be able to communicate that to Belinda that she said, oh, hell no. That will never happen on her watch. And we feel confident, she's the sole owner. Um, it's a no debt company, which is another really encouraging thing. So they don't really have to, it's doing well and it's going to do better. So we have a lot of as much confidence as anyone can have when the CEO wants to come to your house and do a launch party.
Amen. Hey, I've got a question though, real quick, Lisa.
Yes, Mary.
On that note, the reason that the other two companies had ended up being dissolved was because literally the owners died. So she has, just please, when you talk to her, make sure she's got all that in the
A secession plan.
long-term
Right.
plan.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
We don't
for
want to
sure.
lose it. We don't
Yeah,
want to
no,
lose her, first of all, but yeah,
yeah. Well, I know she's got a plan in place because this is her girl's future.
I thought so, but I
Yeah.
just the topic was just brought up, which
Yes.
yeah, I thought that was a good question.
Very good question. And so how was that answer, Shayla?
It was good. I'd still like to know her plan if something happens to her,
Her
just
secession
because,
plan.
yeah, in the past couple years, I've had probably 7 family members died, became an orphan because my mom passed away. So, it's just on your mind with the
It's
future,
it's
when
very
you lose that.
destabilizing. It
Hmm.
is for sure.
Hey, Lisa,
But
can I
yes,
address that a
Susan
little
Everett.
bit? So I worked for a company that had been in business for 125 years. And so, I mean, they were a very upstanding company. They were very, financially very fit, blah, 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 all that stuff. And they had succession plans in place, and they worked very hard to achieve all that. But part of their succession plan was to find a really good buyer company, and they did. I mean, and I know the owners well. I was on the executive team when all this was happening, and I know they turned down some incredibly lucrative offers to get a really good fit, a good company. And so they went through all of this to make everything right. Unfortunately, the company then that they sold to then made a bad decision, and then they ended up having to sell to a different company, which was awful.
Mm,
So, even with all the best plans in the world, there's
mm.
nothing, I don't care if it's corporate America or, your own bar and grill, you never know what's going to happen. And, just the fact that, we know Angie's heart and we know her plan for it is very comforting. But, I don't care what you're looking, where you're working. You don't have that. It's still your business. So that's, when I was employed, that's why I encouraged my employees to make sure that they saved money and enjoyed their job. You just don't know. So my
Right,
two
right.
cents.
No, that's a really, really good point. And let's see, who's on iPhone?
Brooke.
It's
Oh,
always
Brooke.
me,
Is
Yeah.
that
Melissa, because I'm on the road.
Oh,
Sorry.
Melissa, I didn't get to say hi to you.
Hi.
We're
Sorry, I
going to
was
come right
late.
back to you. So, Brooke, were you saying something, girl?
I'm on an iPhone.
Oh, you're on an iPhone, but fortunately, it tells me whose iPhone it is.
I didn't know how to set that either.
That's okay, Melissa. But we're going to talk here about what's happening this week. How many people are going to Cancun? Susan Everett, Melissa, Judy, Hal Henson. Anybody else want to go?
I want
Anybody
to
want to
go.
go? You want to go, Shayla? Gina, you've already
Lisa,
been. Gina just got back from Mexico. Were you going to say something? Somebody said
Lisa Bell's going.
Lisa Bell's going. You betcha. And my last request for you guys is somebody it's his birthday today.
Oh,
Wow.
Hal Henson is 64 years young. Hal Henson,
Yeah,
can you come over here? We're going to sing you the birthday song.
I can.
So you guys, we're gonna sing Hal Henson a little happy birthday song, and let's see who wants to lead this endeavor.
I'll start.
Here we go.
Shayla.
1, 2,
1, 2,
3.
3, 4.
Happy
Happy
birthday
birthday
to
to
you.
you. Happy
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 birthday
birthday
to
birthday
To
to
you.
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 oh,
Happy
oh,
birthday,
Birthday,
dear
dear
Hal
Hal
Henson.
to
Henson.
you.
Happy
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 birthday
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 to
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 you.
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 Thank you
happy,
all
happy
very
Birthday,
much.
return.
dear
It's been a
Hal.
wonderful birthday
Happy
today. Thank you.
birthday to
I can't
you.
see you very well, though, Hal. You got to move in close to that sweet
There
wife
we
of
How's
yours.
that?
Well,
How's that?
you can. I know you. There you. That we can see you both now. That's better.
Okay.
You look sweet.
Yay.
Thank you.
That's a
Thank you
good
all.
portrait.
He's had a good
Y'all had it was a great call tonight. I loved hearing all these stories and it's awesome. Y'all are doing great. Keep it up.
Well, I
well,
have a
we're
little neat thing that happened. Sonny came over to well on the call. He wanted his dose for the night, so I dosed him on the call, and then dosed this. They all wanted their Zalees. I thought that was kind of neat.
so
Yep.
hey Mary, tell us just in closing and then we'll let you guys go, but tell us what you give your pets, because this is something that we've
Oh,
been talking about. So you know a lot about pets.
yeah. Well, when I started out giving my two older pets, I had two dogs that were very old, 17 and a half and 18. They passed. And we used to call him Fonzie. He was the Shih Tzu. We called him Lazarus. And he would come over to get his lease. And I mean, I worked on wheelchairs and everything for him. Gene helped. So he can attest to that. Um, he knew I was doing that. And it really helped, even though it had ruined a vet had inadvertently done something stupid and did not put anything on his eyes, on two of my dog's eyes, when they did the dentals. And if you don't keep the eyes closed and keep them moisturized and put something on them, it can damage their outer sheath. And then it looks like cataracts. It basically makes them pretty blind. So it even helped clear that up. It helped him with mobility. They let him fall off the operating table after they unstrapped him and then left the room. Well, what do you think the dog did? And then they damaged his spine. And that helped him walk a lot. And then when the CBG came out, I would give him some both of that. But he lasted probably another 3-4 years. And Zimpo really helped her with anxiety, depression, losing him, and different things that were going on, and it helped her out her sheath. But I have some rescue dogs. Well, I'd use it for the rescues. Use the Dream for transport. Use the CBD and the CBG. But now that we have Vibe, I've switched to that. And my daughter has a cat that's in palliative care, and we give her either Vibe or the CBD and the CBG. And it took Anna, but so this cat's still having a decent quality of life, even though she has cancer. But it's really good for the stress. It's good for anxiety. It's good for general health. Something's happened to Fonzie, not Fonzie, wrong sheet to Henry. He's on my lap. And he's having problems with his back legs. And I don't know, I think it might have been the groomer, it might be the little puppy pulling on him, it might have been the bigger dogs we had. I think there's too much pulling on him this last year. And he's definitely had pain. So I was just giving the dogs once a day, 'cause it seems like all they needed. But with all this going on, I'm giving it to him twice a day. And like I said, they came over.
And they like it.
They're hearing about Zalise, and they come over to get dosed. So
That's
I thought,
awesome.
okay, this is cool. Because
Well,
they
thank you
know
for
it makes them feel better. I mean, the dogs know it makes them feel better.
yeah.
So, and it does help with cabin fever and all those mental and anxiety things that we have, and they have too. And
Awesome.
it's good.
It's good for all, everything four-legged and two-legged, and that's a great way to kind of wrap the call up. So thank you guys for being on. If you have any other questions or comments, go ahead and shout it out. Otherwise, we will see you guys tomorrow on the Freedom Call at 8 o'clock. And we'll see you, Shayla, at 5:30.
And
Looking forward to it.
Lisa, can I talk to you after the call for a couple of minutes?
Yeah, just I'll text you.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay. All right, guys. And the rest of y'all, I'm going to see you in Cancun on Thursday.
Yeah, I had thought I was going to
Good
get
night.
my
Good night,
turn.
everybody.
Good
Have
night.
fun.
Bye.